I'm not sure what the goal of the prior 10 years was, so when I pursued my wife, she immediately let me know she was in love with someone else. And certainly I see that continuing to pursue it was a mistake. It was convoluted, but the person she was in love with was an old instructor she had reconnected with after graduating high school, beginning in middle school. This man was like a father figure to me. Her teacher supported her as a mentor teacher and then in a loving relationship. He is the reason she is now working in the sector she is. Things continued to progress between us. I'm not sure what it was about her that drew me in. He never indicated they were exclusive, so I assume it was more of a reckless, fun thing to do. He was also still married and unable to support her. She dated both of us for a period. I eventually moved in since she couldn't pay rent on her own, and after a while I told her it was unjust for her to keep seeing him while relying on me for a place to live. She told him, and I thought it was the end of their relationship. She discovered out she was pregnant not long after. She didn't find out until she was 5 months pregnant, and even then it wasn't apparent if the kid was mine or his. Fortunately, it was evident when he was born that he was mine. I had no reservations about continuing the connection because he looked just like me. We tied the knot. I assumed we were content. She continued to advance in her job. She still talked to him, but I assumed it was more of a platonic relationship. I was always quite supportive of her, and I assumed she was respectful of me. I don't yet know the specifics. I feel compelled to inquire, but I'm not sure whether that's a smart idea. I have a feeling it isn't, but knowing me, I'll end up asking anyway, and I'm not sure how long she was having an affair with him. He eventually stopped communicating to her and cut her off totally as a result of this. This was new to me. She managed to keep it from me for years, but she was really depressed after being cut off. She saw a therapist for a short time, but she didn't find it useful. She'd have trouble getting out of bed. I was always on time for work. She used to cry on her way to and from work virtually every day for years. We never had the relationship that I desired. I gave her space because I believed she needed it. I could live with that if she was content. Eventually, via her employment, she found someone who began to meet some of the requirements that I was unable to meet since I lacked the understanding in her industry to speak confidently about any of it. I was always eager to listen, but she didn't seem to want to talk about it much. As she phrased it, their friendship had evolved too far. They both had an epiphany about the same time, and he advised her to remain professional. This is when she finally addressed me about her needs not being satisfied. I was delighted since our relationship had never been what I had hoped for. At first, I believed I'd finally be able to obtain what I wanted from her. She expressed concern that we didn't have enough in common to make it work, but she was prepared to give it a shot. I don't believe she ever wanted to work on it. She simply desired to leave. We spoke for a long time. Every new item I discovered hurt more and more. She was never in love with me. This was not uttered with malice. She truly wants me to find someone I like. On Thursday, she returned the ring and informed me that she was going to move out. I finally got up the courage to address the things I had been avoiding and discovered she having an affair, which was terrible. It seemed that she was uninterested in me. It all seemed so apparent when I typed it down. How could I have been so delusory? I'm not sure what to make of this. It casts an entirely new light on the entire marriage. I am aware that I have a lot going for me, and I must not let this harden me. I may not know precisely what I want from a relationship, but I can recognize key things and know when to speak up when I'm upset about something we haven't been fighting over and our son is still unaware of. I'm trying my best to keep it from him until we have to tell him. But for now, we're going to marriage counseling. We've reached the stage when none of us wants to heal the marriage, therefore I'm hoping for a somewhat painless divorce. I have a lot of help. I have so many pals who have been really helpful while I've been working. Obviously, this has shown me how many things I should have done differently. I only discovered the adultery last night, so it's still very fresh in my mind. I have no idea how to handle it. Edit, I realize that I must prioritize my son's needs while also working on myself. I know that if I can achieve these two things, I'll be okay. Let's look at some of the responses. She harmed you. She is ready to devastate her son's world. Didn't attest the child to be certain and to convey a point to her. Consult a lawyer and a therapist. After 7 to 9 years, I got the "I never had true affection for you" statement, and it stings really deep. Don't take her back when reality sets in, but if you must, sign over a large asset and obtain a postnup. Using people in this manner is wicked. Remember this while your sexual and emotional attachment to her obscures the truth. And 120 claims that I went through a similar experience. My ex never loved me and only wanted to use me to fill a vacuum in her heart. She preferred her ex and continued to communicate with him during our 6-year relationship. I kept capturing her until my heart hardened and I stopped caring about her. I was in a grocery shop one day when I met a very charming young lady. She didn't pay much attention to me, but I ultimately asked for her phone number and asked her out on a date. After 3 weeks, she accepted, and she now loves me the way my ex loved her ex. Some love tales never come to an end. You exist merely to fill a gap. There are people like your ex, but there are also decent ladies. It's better to start a new relationship than to pursue this old fling, because it will end the same way. I know it's better for you to start a new relationship than for her to regret losing you. Suffering is the second story. So my pal, a lengthy read with a negative end, but she eventually confessed the truth. As grateful as I am, I had a feeling and I'm not sure I can trust her anymore. In the past, I had suspected she was up to anything shady. I'd put my faith in her. I'm putting everything I've got into this. Working on me on a physical and psychological level, creating a bond with the kids, cleaning the home full time, giving her everything I had. I'm even confronting prior traumas with her and examining them through exposure therapy. I'm doing everything I can. Guys, this isn't a modest brag. It is how I bring about the change I desire to see in the world. Despite my best efforts, I've been constantly deceived by embracing and practicing it every day. I spent weeks devising a strategy, digesting this terrible pain and ready to give her the opportunity to confess. She looked me in the eyes the first time and lied to me. She also told me for the first time that she loved me. This terrified me because it felt genuine, but it also felt manipulative. I can't even look her in the eyes anymore. Despite these feelings, I want to think it will cease as I have requested. She consented to it. The problem is that we came together as people who would articulate their desires. She had assured me that I had nothing to be concerned about and that she would never do such. We talked about our commitment and accepted each other at their word. The most bizarre aspect to me is that it has always been a purposeful game. Am I a moron? I repeatedly put myself up to be knocked down. This isn't the first time my almost 10-year relationship has ended abruptly. I'm completely confused now, filled with uncertainty and uneasy about what I want. I'm no longer sure of myself. I no longer believe we have the same goals. Didn't we? Do I wait to see if she changes her mind about the relationship? How will I find out? How can I keep my faith in her? I'm attempting everything above and failing badly. I care so much about her children, all 4 of them, that it hurts. I desperately want to be a part of this family, but I also want her to be a trustworthy lady for the sake of those children. This dude is not going to come and clean her house. He's not going to do everything I do. He may do some things well and excel at others, but I believe I give a vital service to the community in which she lives. Then she informs me that she can't rely on me. She does not, however, clean. When I first arrived, I spent weeks collecting rubbish from the main bedrooms, which totaled over 30 bags. I don't want her to lose her children. I've looked after a household. With 2 adults, 2 dogs, 4 children, and 3 cats, cleanliness is essential. I take the kids shopping, to the park on walks, play a game with the oldest, work full-time, and yet give her my all in terms of closeness and emotional support. And I'm not trustworthy. I'm giving my everything every day, and it's exhausting. Part of me believes it will work. Op is very pitiful. When you give everything and receive nothing, it's not a relationship, and they aren't your children. It's time to say goodbye and move on. Thank you for listening to the story to the end, and if you like it, please support us with a like as well as subscribe to our channel. Write in the comments what you think about the story.